communities a lot, to children, to young people, to those who otherwise couldn't take part in sports, and especially autism and pediatric cancer, two of the big heartbeat efforts of Perfect Game. Jennifer Ford Chatfield is here running the Perfect Game Foundation, and Colonel Dwight Schmidt is here, a retired member of the United States Marine Corps, and you're going to see a lot of strong presence here in San Diego, as it should be, with the local military community. So excited to have those two here. Now let's meet the ball players. This young man is a right-handed pitcher and a middle infielder. He's talented at both. At Perfect Game's National Showcase, he touched 93 miles an hour. He's out of Ramona High School. He's a Stanford commit. Plays his travel ball for GBG. In Perfect Game's most recent ranking, he is the #1 player in the state of California. Mom is Nancy. Dad is Steve. Derek Diamond, please stand for us and be honored. Congratulations, Derek. Joining him, left-handed pitcher, first baseman, La Costa Canyon High School. Another one who takes care of his grades because he's a Vanderbilt commit. Plays his travel ball for a gifted squad, the Blackhawks national team. Sports about a 4.4 GPA. He's one of the top left-handed pitchers in the United States, in the most recent rankings, #2 in the country. He touched 93 miles an hour, and somehow at that 6'7" frame, he ran a sub-6'8" 60. He's been a lot of fun to be around. Mom is Lee, Dad is Chris. Spencer Jones. Left-handed hitting first baseman, J. Serra High School, the one in Los Angeles, Junipero Serra High School. All you college coaches out there, he's a non-commit. And he is yet to commit and decide where he is headed. And he is some kind of a talented. We'll introduce you to his family as well. Most recently plays his travel ball for CBA, California Baseball Academy. Perfect Game ranked him as the #2 first baseman in the United States in its most recent rankings. Mom is Tina, Dad is Derek, and I think we're very proud to, as we partner, Perfect Game does with Major League Baseball in so many efforts, that he is a graduate of the Breakthrough Series and continues to go through the Breakthrough Series and baseball's RBI program, and a very big part of that. Ladies and gentlemen, Mekhi Backstrom. Perfect Game's lead scout and the color analyst for the game on MLB Network every year. His name is David Ronsley. He's a 3-decade scout, most of it with the major leagues, then the last decade or so scouting athletes on behalf of Perfect Game. David Ronsley has been stumping for this hitter forever. He saw him first, he will tell you. He said, Garrett Frechette can hit. This left-handed hitting outfielder first baseman out of Cathedral Catholic, and anyone who would listen, he told them. But then he earned it. He earned the opportunity to come here. San Diego State commit. San Diego show travel ball player. How's that for hometown? He's a #1 outfielder in the state of California. Jennifer and Tony are parents. He can hit. Garrett Frechette. So there you go. Oh, by the way, we have one more very special member of the roster this year. You see, for 52 weeks, this athlete underwent radiation and chemotherapy at Rady Children's Hospital. And she beat cancer. And she beat cancer that, as she told me earlier today, she knew at 13 years old that it's supposed to be a death sentence and you're not supposed to beat cancer. She's a state-level soccer player that plays at the highest of levels, and she plays in goal, parents' worst nightmare. And she also said, one of the reasons I now separate myself amongst college scouts is that many of my foes have not been through what I have been through. Boy, she's been through a lot. We are honored that her family is here too, Rodney and Susan, Dad and Mom, Sister Caitlin, an honorary member, but even more so because she's just as equal of an athlete to these guys. But we're glad to add to the roster this year, Casey Harvey. #16th game, 206 first-round picks, 158 Major League alumni, 9 in the Futures game alone a week from tonight. Next Monday, names like Joe Adele and Hunter Green, names that many of you are familiar with. Names that have been familiar in this game like Bregman in 11, Alex Bregman, Chris Bryant in 09, Carlos Correa in 11, Bryce Harper in 09. Hosmer, he plays over there. He played in this game in 07. Francisco Lindor, Justin Upton, and I'm just scratching the surface. So many alum in this incredible game. We're honored to be here, too, with the Padres and really, truly partner this year with the Padres, the embodiment of the community, and the way they have not only taken on the challenge of hosting a game like this, but taken on the challenge of really touching the community through Rady Children's Hospital. So we're very honored from all the representatives of the San Diego Padres to be here. And then there's the Rady Children's Hospital Foundation. We're going to hear first from the Senior Director of Philanthropy, Alexandra Loker. Perfect Game has raised more than $1 million in the history of this game for pediatric cancer. And one of the great things that goes on is that you see the pro athletes in this community, like Trevor did, rally around Rady and how they value families. My gosh, getting Casey's story today just took it a step deeper for me. We've talked to so many Rady students and those that come through there, those that learn from there, and these athletes become students of what they see, and they have compassion and empathy, and Rady's is such a big part of this community. We're honored to be a part of it. Alexandra, why don't you come up and share a little bit more?
Thank you, Darren. We're so excited to be here with you again today. Rady Children's Hospital is a 551-bed pediatric care facility providing the largest source of comprehensive pediatric medical services in San Diego, Southern Riverside, and Imperial counties. We served 237,000 plus kids last year. Since 2006, Perfect Game has generously supported the Petco Center for Cancer and Blood Disorders at Rady Children's. With investments like this one, we're able to provide life-saving technology and research to provide a safety net for children who don't have medical coverage and to create a healing environment that treats the whole patient along with their families. We at Rady Children's Hospital look forward to seeing many of these outstanding young players as they go on to have successful careers in Major League Baseball and carry that spirit of philanthropy with them. On behalf of the kids and families at Rady Children's Hospital, thank you to the Padres and to the outstanding young players in the Perfect Game. We are very much looking forward to this year's event. Thank you.
Harvey, what do you got? Come on up. Casey Harvey.
Hi everyone, thank you for all being here tonight. 3 years ago when I was 13 years old, I was diagnosed with a rare and aggressive form of childhood cancer called alveolar rhabdomyosarcoma. I had a soft tissue cancer tumor inside my left maxillary sinus cavity. I was treated for 42 weeks at Rady Children's Hospital, receiving chemotherapy as well as 8 weeks of proton radiation. The people at Rady Children's Hospital, from the oncologist that saved my life to the nurses that gave me chemo every week, and to the social workers that kept a smile on my face, I'd like to say thank you, and thank you all for being here to help support Rady Children's Hospital, because Rady Children's Hospital saved lives, and it saved my life. Thank you.
You ready to follow that, Brad? How about that? Brad Clement, the CEO of Perfect Game, with an educational background and a passion for the game, a son who played all the way up to the major leagues. Relationships with Perfect Game have become so very important under CEO Brad Clement. MLB Network, MLB.com, a great example of it. But Tony Regan's the Senior Vice President of Youth Programs, and Dell Matthews, the Senior Director of Baseball Development and Breakthrough Series. And Perfect Game provides a platform for success. It's not a teaching group, it's not a coaching group, it just provides a platform for these athletes. But it's done a lot more. There's actually going to be a play ball event here for the first time ever at the Perfect Game All-American Classic. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Clement.
Thanks, Darren. It is a tough act to follow with Casey, and I'll just start right there. The cause is the reason that we're all here, and we couldn't be prouder for all of the proceeds to go to Rady Children's Hospital to benefit kids like Casey. I want to also share that while Darren mentioned we've gone over $1 million, about 4 years ago, we started with a group of San Diegans, just like these guys were, with a pilot project to see if the players might be able to raise money in their own communities. And the last 4 years, we've done that with all 50 players who were selected. And we've raised, the players themselves have raised nearly $250,000, and we'll go over that figure this year, with every dime going to the Petco Center for pediatric cancer. So players, you have a legacy in front of you to be able to do that, and what it's just tremendous. And having Casey visit with the players and at the banquet will be extremely meaningful as well. Well, Perfect Game genuinely appreciates the support of the city of San Diego, of course the Padres and Petco Park, because of our long history there. Darren talked about all of the players that developed from where these guys are, being outstanding prospects to high draft picks to MLB players to all-stars and major league award winners. This past month in June, 19 players were selected in the first round that played in this game the year before. We know that that will happen again, so it's just a thrill to be able to be in this city at this park, to be able to show everyone the condition of the amateur baseball game and how it's continued to grow. And I might add that the Padres' number one pick, Ryan Weathers, pick number 7, was with us last year as well. So we've got a local flavor there as well. This year's game is going to be even different, many more moving parts, because this is the first time that the Padres are home at the same time we are. And it has taken a lot of coordination, and kudos to the whole Padres leadership team, but a couple people that are here now I want to give special mention to. Fred Uhlman and Paula Badelli have just, we've been on calls multiple times a week just getting everything figured out. So thank you to all of the Padre group for what is happening there. It's also special this year, as Darren mentioned, with Military Appreciation Day on August 12th as well, that we're tying in the great military background that you folks have here in San Diego. And it was actually the brainchild of Colonel Schmidt and Jennifer Ford Chatfield to tie that in together, and we're actually going to have a fundraising competition among the many bases that are around here as well the first time, so we appreciate that. There are a couple of other people that are either here or stuck in traffic that I want to mention their names as well. Colonel Daniel Taylor from the United States Marine Corps and Captain Jeff Dermody from the U.S. Navy will be here tonight as well. So again, special thanks to everyone, our honorary chairman every year that we've been here, since it's been the Perfect Game All-American Classic. Trevor Hoffman just gives of himself to these players, just as you folks know that he has ever since he's been here in San Diego. We texted yesterday, and I think he's going to talk here. I told him I didn't think this was quite as important a speech as he'll give a little later this month, but congratulations to Trevor on that. And then the last, and certainly not least, I want to mention, we couldn't do this without the cooperation and support of all of our many sponsors. And a couple of them that I want to highlight are Nike, the apparel partner of Perfect Game and the All-American Classic, and Rawlings, the exclusive equipment provider for all Perfect Game events, including the All-American Classic. Thank you.
Almost seems like I'm going through the motions to come up here and introduce a guy that, when you know who none of us are, and this is the only guy you know, but I'll tell you on behalf of Perfect Game, even when I was a broadcaster for my 15 years in the big leagues, it was a joy to be around this guy all the time. It's infectious. So instead of giving you numbers that you all know, a couple of words popped into my head. Genuine, passionate, knowledgeable, peaceful, without agenda, and loaded with knowledge for these young athletes. Hall of Famer Trevor Hoffman.
Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I'd like to thank Darren for that introduction. It goes without saying how much of himself he pours into this event. Really is genuine. You talk about genuine, Darren. You're genuine to this program and these kids, and you do a great job of getting their information out and loving on the kids as well, so appreciate that. Casey, welcome to the family. Welcome to the team. What a great job you've done, and obviously shed some light on Rady children and all the great folks up there. It's a great partnership. I know that the kids really get a lot out of it on that Saturday, and they get a chance to go up and really give back in a way that they probably haven't before, with some of the kids that are going through some tremendous tragedies that they're dealing with and are trying to buck through. And so it's great that the kids get a chance to do that. Brad talked about relationships, and he mentioned Fred Uhlman Jr. of the Padres. That's been a great synergy that's happened, and to be able to have a professional game in front of these kids' game is, I think, going to be unlike anything else. It's going to get an opportunity to fill up this place, and they're going to get a chance to play in front of a bunch of people. Really, the numbers don't lie, fellas. You know, there's a reason why you guys are sitting here. There's a reason why a lot of people in front of you have done so well and are doing amazing things in the game, and you guys are just on the doorstep, so keep doing the things that you're doing. You know, I go back to when Spencer was 11 years old, I think, or 12 years old, when he was playing for Encinitas Little League and had a chance to go into their travel bus before they got sent off to their game. And you've grown up to be a fine young man, son, and continue to do that. You make your mom and dad proud. It's great to be with you guys. Looking forward to the game. Thank you.
Thank you, Trevor. August 12th, MLB Network, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Most importantly, everyone gathered here. We want everyone here to support these athletes. So come out to the game that Sunday. Stay for the Perfect Game All-American Classic. Here in just a moment, for those that came that have questions for our athletes or for Trevor, we're going to make them available, but we'll get them together for a quick photo op. If we get all four of our All-Americans, and Trevor, why don't you join them, please? Get you guys all together out front for a little